Hello, everyone. This is Tom, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. It is September 23rd, 2025. I want to do a short video today on what YouTube came out and said. YouTube has come out and said that they did, I want to say the word conspire with the Biden administration to silence channels and cancel content creators. Okay, every content creator that goes against the narrative knows that this has already been going on, but now they're admitting to it. Okay, but they're not going to go on and admit to now they're doing the same thing just with the Trump administration. Okay, it doesn't matter if you got a Democrat or Republican in office. They're going to try to silence if you go against the narrative. So I find that interesting. Now, what about all? And I when I started watching YouTube content creators seriously would have been during the pandemic. I started watching YouTube a little bit more seriously. And a lot of the people that I watched, they don't have their channels no more. And these are people that made a living on their channels. Back when a content creator in the early, 2010 and 2012, 2015, that time frame, where they could start up a channel and it would grow. We didn't have the censorship like we do now. And, they made it, they were making money on it. So that was their business. You're a content creator, it's like a business. You spend a lot of time at it and people were able to make money at it. And then they were just canceled because they said something about they're lifting the restrictions on the election fraud that went on in 2020 and of the COVID. Their medical misinformation. I mean, I had a channel canceled because of medical misinformation that I gave, okay? But, and it was my medical misinformation that I never wore a mask, never social distance, never got the shot, never played none of the Simon Says games, and I never got sick, and I went to work every day. So I guess that's medical misinformation to sit there and say you weren't affected by the pandemic, right? But anyway, there are people that got their livelihoods taken from them, which I'm sure caused divorce and stuff. I mean, I can't think of a better way to say class action lawsuit. Damage is done to somebody by a big company that caused lots of personal damage, financial damage and stuff to them because they were speaking their mind and the truth. Okay, all of a sudden this medical misinformation that our channels were canceled for years ago, I guess that's not medical misinformation now, right? I mean, at one time, a couple weeks ago, warp speed was the best thing ever, and then it was vaccines are bad for you, and now it's one vaccine for everything, right? Anyway, and then the election stuff. But this is what I'm saying. And now it's just, just because Trump's in office being a content creator, I can tell you the shadow banning, the censorship hasn't changed, okay? They're all in one big club and we're not allowed. These people are all on the same side. And if you don't follow the narrative that they're trying to push, you're going to be pushed to the side. Where some of your videos won't even be seen. Can't find them, no matter what. But don't worry. That's not really what's happening, right? But yeah. Yep. So channels got canceled because the Biden administration felt they were a threat. The only time the American people are the American people's opinion is a threat to the government is because the government's trying to take away and do shady stuff and criminal stuff, okay? Because they're being called out on it. But anyway, and I'm sure, a social media platform is just another biased platform. It's just a platform that has the bias of the person that owns it, right? Whether it be X, we have no freedom of speech no more. Now, I'm not saying you should be able to go on social media and film yourself doing a crime stuff like that. It's ridiculous. But you know, you're allowed to come on social media, and well, we have lots of people with mental illness, that men that think they can have babies. That's a lie. So why not sit there and have somebody else is allowed to make a bold-faced fake news lie on their channel too, right? But anyway, you know, you don't have to believe. You know, what's worse, the person who says the lie or the person that believes the lie? Okay? You're not forced to believe anything. And there's a lot of crazy people that are saying a lot of crazy stuff on social media. But you know, they should have the right to say it. It's just, you know, you can look at it and say, that's insane. Instead of it being pushed in your face and say, no, you got to watch this 100 times till you believe it. Anyway, you know, what YouTube did with Biden administration, they're now doing with the Trump administration. And they'll go back to doing it with the next administration. And the American people are the ones that always get silenced. Anyway, but, you know, I'm glad YouTube came out and said what they were doing with the Biden administration. But anyway, as a content creator, we already know this. And as an American, you already know this, okay? But crazy times, folks. It's time that we're gonna have. Time's coming where we're gonna have to fight for our rights. If you're not willing to fight for your rights, then you're willing to surrender them. So, and I'm not willing to surrender mine. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. This is Tom with the Hidden Truths channel. I'm out of here.